Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerd's Fun 5 interview has been playing paintball since 1990. He went pro with Constant Pursuit. He played on Bob Long's Ironman. He played for the Ironmen, where he eventually became captain. He started Excessive. He's also played for Image and Joy Division in the European Series, and he's a commentator for the NXL. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Rich Telford.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Rich. How you doing, man?
Good, Zai. How you doing, man?
Good. You know, you're my first pro captain.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. You're the first person that ever threatened to cut me, too.
Oh, even more sorry for that.
Yeah, well, it was indirectly. I remember we were at the field, and everyone was you were yelling at the whole team.
That does not sound like me, but okay, go continue.
We weren't doing well, and you were kind of like, pointing out a lot of things that we were doing wrong. And I was new to the team, of course, and I had gotten some credit for being smart, for being intelligent on the field. And then you said, you probably don't even remember this, but
no,
stuck out for me. You said, Zizek might be the smartest motherfucker out here, but if he can't get to the snake from that corner, he's going to be the smartest motherfucker on another team.
Yeah, that does sound like something I would say. Sorry, man. Get all caught up in the heat of the passion.
Guess what it got me doing?
In the snake.
It got me to the snake. That's right. So focusing less on being smart and more so on making it up the field, which definitely that was my job at the time. So
I feel like one thing we all do as paintball players is overcomplicate things. Think about too many things, put too much stress on ourselves. If you just understand the core, the really basic essence of your job, and you can just go out and do your job, then man, paintball is pretty easy.
Yeah, and sometimes you need a little fire under your ass to do your job, and that's what that gave me.
I call it gentle encouragement, but sure, fire.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was gentle because it wasn't directly at me; it was to the group.
Generally speaking.
So. Yeah,
I do a lot of those still.
Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about, because I need some closure on this.
Okay.
You guys left. You started Excessive, which became a huge franchise. Tell me what went into the move from the Ironman to Excessive.
A lot of sleepless nights for sure. Ironman was the team that I originally, when I think this third or fourth time I played paintball, I played against the Ironman. I played like 2 or 3 recreational times. Got on a local team. My first practice was against the Ironman, and I couldn't believe that a group of people could be so much better than me at anything in the world. Like it just, I played paintball a few times. It was pretty easy. I just shot everybody. The first game against them, I shot 2 or 3 guys, and I was like, yeah, these chumps are just like everybody else. And then when I turned around to look at the rest of my team, they were all dead, and the other 7 guys were behind me, and they just shot the shit out of me. I was like, oh, wow, these guys are really good. And I didn't shoot anybody for the rest of the day. So it was like the team I wanted to be on, the team I, kind of dreamt of being on. So leaving that was very, very hard. But as I'm a pretty loyal person, and the team at that point to me was the group of guys that kind of were getting pushed out. And so Di was nice enough to ask me to stay, but in order to do so, I would have to part way with all my friends, and that didn't really feel comfortable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dave gave me a really good offer to stay. He was going to pay me $50 a year to coach and just run the team. And at that time, that was a big chunk of money. But
so everyone was going to get cut? Like
all
Maggie
the guys,
and Micah, Neil, and Thomas?
Not all the guys, but majority of the guys, yeah. We have one, all the guys, yeah, they were going to bring in some new guys. And basically, Matt had been at wasn't at Die anymore. He was gone. Davey was gone. Micah was gone. So it was like, and it was, for me, if the people making those decisions had been at the practices, had been at the events, and we had the conversations that would kind of lead up to those things, I'd be like, hey, man, I get it. They didn't do what they're supposed to do. They got to go. But just to kind of come in and summarily get rid of guys when you're not involved didn't feel right to me as a captain or as a player. And then on the same token, a lot of those guys were, kind of my friends. So just didn't go well at all. So Mike, I think, was like, hey, well, let's just do our own thing. And obviously that's super scary, especially when you have a big cash offer from the team you wanted to be with your whole life.
Mm,
But like I said, I just didn't feel comfortable with the decisions being made by the people not being in camp, and so I
yeah.
figured it would continue to go that way if I stayed with the Ironman. So I took a risk, and we basically got one outside sponsorship, Excess Energy. A guy had a kid who wanted to play paintball on a pro level, was willing to put in 100 grand. We went out and got 100 grand in industry sponsorship and matched that, and then moved forward from there.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
it was very, very challenging for sure.
Man, I can't even believe what paintball would be like today if Excessive was never born.
I'm sure it would be very, very similar to what it is now, man. Things
I
come and
mean,
go.
maybe. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. What happened to Excessive? Why did it end?
Um, it just ended up being all the guys that I kind of went over there to be with weren't there anymore. So it just kind of lost the lackluster. Just
Mm,
it wasn't enjoyable anymore. So just
yeah.
kind of let it go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Rich, you've had a lot of experience in paintball, a ton of memories, ton of traveling.
Been
Tell
very
us about a
fortunate.
memory that really sticks out for you.
Uh, Winning my first world championship with the Ironmen. That was huge. It was every other tournament I'd ever played in my life. I had been super focused on where the points were, where we were, where we're going to make the next round, what we had, how many bodies we needed, because all the math back then. And that tournament, I was just zoned in the whole time, just kind of having fun. I felt confident that we were going to win every single game, so I wasn't even paying attention. We went out to play Aftershock, and someone was like, "Hey, if you guys win this, you're going to win the world championship and the event." And no team's ever done that before. That's kind of a big deal. And I was like, "What is he talking about?"
Mm,
Walked out there, and I was like, "Hey, Mike, where are we doing the points?" He's like, "Yeah, if we win this one, we win this one." And there was, I was like, "Wow, this is a big game." Went out and played that game, and that was pretty amazing. Because that's kind of the goal, right? Is to win, to be the best, to do, to kind of get to that peak at some point, and then so once you get there, it's especially for paintball, man. I was just talking to one of my assistant coaches, Dan, and I really believe that what we do is as hard or harder than anything else in the world. I would stack up, winning a world championship in paintball, or winning World Cup. I mean, to me, that's as hard or harder than anything else in the world. There's just so many things that are outside of your control. It's really, really tough. So to be able to do that is very, very special.
absolutely. Getting good at paintball, and it's something that you have to be passionate about, because if you were to put that amount of effort to get at the top of paintball into
Being a lawyer,
playing
a
guitar
doctor,
or
something that makes
you
money.
know exactly, but so that the people that get to the top of paintball absolutely love it. It's something that they're passionate about.
And have worked really, really hard to get there. Nobody, I don't think there's any like free path to winning a world, even winning a pro tournament, but no less, winning World Cup or winning World Championship. You
Yeah,
gotta put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you have to make a ton of sacrifices.
totally. You said in Sunday Drivers, you'd shoot right, and then the guy that was on the right tape, you just hit him. What kind of paint were you guys using at the time?
Um, I think we were experimenting with different stuff back then because different stuff was coming out. And I think Dye was trying to make some paints. We had a few different ones and JTs, and it just
Hmm.
depends on. I don't really remember in Sunday Drivers. It's probably some derivative of J Ball or something like that. Something that the
Oh,
factory
no
was looking at the
kidding.
time. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I thought it was like a Imperial. So
No,
after that,
Imperial was after that.
oh,
Imperial,
okay,
when we were shooting Imperial, was like, yeah, I think it was 2004ish or so. I think it was a little after that, because I was
that
shooting
stuff was
Imperial
nasty.
with my Matrix, and it was amazing. I could shoot
Yeah,
22 balls a second with no eyes at about 320, and there was no way you were getting outside.
yeah. Oh, those matrices were crazy. Those big
Yeah,
box matrices that we played with in the beginning.
that's right.
Those things, they shot amazing. They're
Oh,
just
shot so good. Yeah,
gigantic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Still one of the best shooting guns I've ever shot.
Yeah, I still. There's nothing that shoots like them. Even
Yeah, it's
even the
just
DMs, they shrunk it down,
yeah.
but it doesn't shoot quite like them.
No, yeah. They got rid of too much of the chamber. I think they just shrunk the chamber down too much, got that pressure up too high, because
Yeah,
that you just needed all that volume to have that big soft shot.
the big soft shot. That's what it's
Big
like.
soft
Yeah, just
shot.
like thump.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Rich, do you have a player who you really like watching?
In today's date or in the old days? 'Cause I have a ton of players I
Don't
like to
overthink
watch.
it. Just in
Uh,
general, who would say?
Oliver was always really fun to watch. John was always really fun to watch. Those guys that could not only, go down the field and get 2 or 3 or 4 guys, but look super
Mm,
fluid doing it. Like
yeah,
I at some point was a decent paintball player. I could never look good at running down the field and trying to shoot people. I didn't have the athleticism. So for the guys who can
yeah,
do it, Fedorov, whatever, those guys who just move like super gracefully as they're executing people, I'm always a fan of watching those guys play.
yeah. Oliver and John Richardson, the way that they moved, kind of looks like Achilles, in battle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very smooth, very, and
It's
it was,
beautiful.
and so few people even today will see, they'll see the move on the first guy, but then they don't see the move on the second guy or third guy, or they don't look for that to develop. And those guys would sit there and wait, miss an opportunity on purpose, miss another opportunity, wait for the barrels to switch, and then they go get 3 or 4 guys. And
Mm,
again, trying to do that like with the best guys in the world trying to shoot you at the same time is really, really hard to do. So I
yeah.
have a lot of respect for
How about a
it.
teammate? Who's the best teammate?
Best teammate.
Hmm.
That's a really good question.
You don't have to
Um,
pick one.
yeah, Micah was a good teammate because he was always there trying to help the cause, like doing the points or, giving ideas or just, he was always a part of the winning solution. Uh, Maddie, Davey were both good guys, good teammates, kind of always there trying to, help out usually.
What
But
happened to Micah? What's he doing?
he's got a paintball field in Davis, California.
Okay, I haven't seen him at any 10-man events or anything like that. I wonder if
I
he's
think
still
he
getting down.
plays. He plays. I think almost every weekend, but I think he plays some of the 10 mans and stuff. I haven't seen
Hmm.
him at the few of them that I've been at, but I think he gets out there and plays with them, and I know he plays regularly at the field.
Cool. Are you playing ICPL?
I might play 1 or 2. We'll see how it goes.
Do you know who you're playing with?
No ideas.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, do you have a favorite piece of equipment, Rich, or something that's in your paintball closet that you hold near and dear to your heart?
I have my Ironman cocker. That's pretty near and dear to my heart, and that's probably it. I'm one of those guys that just kind of give everything away as it comes in, as a player, instead of just selling it or whatever. So as new stuff would come in, I just give the old stuff away. So I don't have a lot of old stuff, but I always held on to my cocker.
Why? How come you held on to that one?
Like I said, that was the team I always wanted to be on. Was the Ironman. That was my goal, and so it's a little more special.
Is it like the blue ones with the engraved shield on them?
No, those were like a year before that. This was an OD green one that Brian built for me from OTP.
Brian Brahim?
Yeah, Brahim.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, Rich, what advice would you give to someone that wants to get to the top level of paintball?
There's not any one thing that you need to do, but you need to be passionate and you need to be driven. Like a lot of the guys, I work with a team now, and I work with some guys on the weekends a lot. And guys always have like reasons why they can't make practice or why they can't work out. Like if you want to get to the top, you have to be driven. You have to be focused. This has to be the most important thing in the next 3 years or 5 years of your life. Obviously, we've got to have balance. We got to do all the other things, but you have to be like driven and passionate about it. And then you have to go play against people that are better than you, and swallow
Mm,
your ego and take your lumps and learn and become better than those guys. And then move to another group of guys that are better than you and continue to do that until you're the best guy and you can't find anybody else to play. And if you do that, you'll probably get to the top pretty quickly. But if you have
mm.
excuses, if you're not driven, or if you go out there and shoot people that aren't as good as you to feed your ego, then it's going to be really, really hard.
Makes sense. Cool. Well, Rich, after all that you've experienced in paintball, what would you say that you're most thankful for that paintball's given you?
That's a good question. I've definitely met some of the best people in the world through paintball. I've met lifelong friends. I don't know if there's this one thing, like traveling is amazing. I have friends in Europe, friends in Asia that I can go visit and have regular vacations with, and I'm just really, really grateful for paintball. It's been a big part of my life. I've met amazing people. I traveled to amazing places and did amazing things, and I'm very grateful for it.
Where's the best place you've been? What's your favorite country?
I don't know. I mean, Toulouse is always kind of special to me. The first time we went to Toulouse, which is in the south of France, the guy who's running the event, his dad was like the mayor, the local politician. So he had some sway. So when we went in there, it was the first time that paintball felt like bigger than just out in the woods. You know, it was in a stadium. Every bus stop had paintball on it. Every newspaper, every TV show. It was like, wow, paintball is a huge thing. So that was pretty amazing to me. And it's also a cool event. You know, it's kind of on top of a hill, and it's, you know, it's just beautiful. And so that's probably one of the most special places for me.
You know, I don't think players today understand all the traveling that happened earlier on. You know, like I don't think players today travel the way they do they used to. So
no,
you know, not to flex or anything, but give us some places that you've been.
I have been to Portugal, Spain, England, Germany, France, Sweden, Holland, Malaysia, all over the United States, all over Canada, Mexico, Colombia. I don't know. I've been to a lot of places for paintball. Paintball is a pretty good community. We all over. Yeah. It's lots of fun. You've gotten lots of good travel. And like I've been to most of those places many, many, many times.
Right.
Yeah, not just once, you know, like we've just gone a bunch of times.
All to just shoot paint-filled gelatin at other people.
Yeah. I wish I had the chance to do it all over again because I would have enjoyed it more. Like I always had a family and I always had a job. So I was the first guy there, last guy out, and I would never stay for a couple of days and enjoy it. So if you are listening to this and you're gonna do that, and you've got to do some traveling, please take the time, enjoy it, man.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. It's kind of like you're just in the hotel to the field, back to the hotel.
Yeah, and
take time and enjoy it.
Yeah, and you're so tired and focused, even when you're doing those back and forth to the hotel and stuff, that you're not really taking in the culture, the local. You're just trying to get some food in you, get some rest, get a team meeting, get to bed, and get up and play.
Yeah, but looking back, that's the most important part of paintball for me was the places I've been. Yeah. And you're right. You know, I wish I experienced it more.
Yeah, me too. I look back and I'm like, because obviously we make mistakes, and the older you get, the more you think about those mistakes. That's one of the things that I'm like, I would even rather, you know, obviously generations are different, right? In our generation, you didn't miss a practice, you didn't miss a tournament, you didn't miss anything. But if I was in the new generation, I would, if I had to miss one event, because you could do that now, you can just take off an event. If you could miss an event and then stay at another event, you know, and spend a week traveling, I would do that for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool, Rich. Well, thank you so much for your time here. Is there anything that you want to part with for the paintball community?
No, thank you very much. I'll see you guys at the paintball field. Cheer for New York. We're going to have an amazing season.